Hey everybody, this is Yeka. I'm here with Nolan. Hey Nolan, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. So let me know a little bit about your health before you started carnivore.
Well, I've always been pretty healthy. I've always been a pretty active guy. I did notice when I play hockey or soccer or whatever, the little in my later years, since I'm quite getting closer to 40 now, that I would get I didn't have as much energy as I used to, and I'd get a little more tired, I guess, quickly, and I'd pack on pounds a little more easily. Yeah, and yeah, I've always been open to trying new diets, and my buddy actually told me about Dr. Sean Baker, and I listened to his podcast on Rogan and some of his work, and yeah, that's how I found out about it. But yeah, I don't know
Okay,
what else I can tell you.
cool. Yeah, so you didn't have any like major health issues or anything. You just started noticing regular signs of aging, what the typical person says, having joint,
Yeah,
did you have any like joint pain or anything like that, or just low energy?
actually, so I when I was 22, I had knee surgery.
Mhm.
I tore my ACL, MCL, and part of my meniscus, and then when I was 20, I want to say 26 or so, I broke my left ankle, and I do notice sometimes with those, after like the weather is particularly cold, or if I step on it wrong or train too hard or something, it'll ache for a while. Yeah, those did bother me back in the day.
Okay. And so when you heard about carnivore from your friends, so you did some research and you just dove right in. What kind of foods were you eating when you started?
Well, I pretty much went straight into ribeyes. I've always liked ribeyes. Anyways, have never been a vegetarian or vegan or anything, but ribeyes used to be like a once a month or once every couple of week kind of thing, and now it's pretty much every day. And yeah, so mostly ribeyes, sometimes bacon, sometimes eggs in the morning. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Every once in a while, there's something else mixed in.
Okay. And do you drink coffee at all or do any seasonings?
I do coffee. I do drink coffee. I make my own cold brew, just plain, no extra stuff added to it. And for seasoning, I just do salt and pepper, just
Okay.
out of a grinder. Yeah.
Nice. And when did you experience any difficulties during the transition or when you started?
Yeah. So just the first day, really, and then well, okay. So on the very first day, I noticed that I felt like I almost had flu symptoms. It was kind of weird. Like I was achy and feeling weird, but it was because my guess is because my diet was so crappy before that. I was leading up to it. I was eating whatever I wanted, but yeah, like the first day, I felt kind of like I had the flu, but not like sniffling or anything, just achy. And then yeah, that pretty much went away after the first day. And then I was strict for like 6 months, and then went off it for a couple weeks, and then got back on it, and then I felt like that feeling again for the first day. But then anytime I've taken a small break and then got back on it again, it hasn't happened again for some reason. So I guess my body's adjusted.
Yeah. And like about how much food do you eat per day?
Usually two ribeyes, about, give
Okay,
or
like
take.
around 1 pound ribeyes or so.
Maybe a little more than a pound. I get them cut pretty thick, maybe
Oh,
an
okay.
inch and a half, 2 inches. Yeah, but if I work out, then it'll probably be closer to two ribeyes and maybe some eggs or something extra. And then if I don't work out that day, then one and a half.
Okay. And so what were the benefits that you started noticing?
So mainly the energy. I have a lot more energy than I used to. I used to have at least two 16-ounce cold brews a day to keep me awake at work. And now it's down to like one, if that. I barely finish it. So yeah, definitely a lot more energy. When I started, I was around, I think, 225 or 230 pounds, and within the first, I think, 8 months, I got down to 190, 195, and I've held it around there pretty much since then. I started about a little over 2 years ago. I don't know if I told you that, but yeah, within the first year, down to 190, 195, and I've held it since then. Yeah, I mean, pretty much that, and I guess less joint pains like you asked about. The knee and the ankle don't bother me as much as they used to, and I still play hockey and do CrossFit and work out and all kinds of stuff. So yeah,
That's amazing. Helpful. And how long did it take for you to start noticing more energy and the joint pain to start lessening?
Oh, my memory's not the greatest, so I don't know if I could say for sure, but I would probably say around 4 to 6 months in. I can't say for sure though, because I didn't track that kind of thing. I just went in and hoped for the best.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. Yeah, I love hearing that. Yeah, and you've been doing it for a couple of years now, so it's hard to remember sometimes when exactly the benefits started showing. And then, I feel like sometimes there's just so many little benefits that just keep, improving when you're doing carnivore. The longer you do it, the more little things start getting better and better. And so then you just stop keeping track because, it just keeps constantly getting better.
Yeah, and I mean, the main reason I did it was the weight loss, and that I actually kept track of. I'm a finance guy, so I have a whole Excel sheet on how I tracked it. And I mean, but the other benefits I wasn't even expecting. They just kind of popped up.
That's amazing. And so your friend that introduced you to it, is he still doing carnivore?
He is doing mostly carnivore, I believe. I think he mixes it up. He studies diet way more than I do. And he said he every season he like kind of changes it up, but it's mostly like keto or paleo or carnivore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just still meat based though.
Yeah.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your success story. I can't wait to share it with others. Hopefully it'll inspire some other people to get it started.
Cool. No problem.
Okay, go ahead.
So one thing I wanted to point out, a lot of people ask about like blood tests and your cholesterol and all that. I got my blood tested and got a physical, I think a year and a half or almost 2 years into the diet. And my doctor, who is not carnivore, that he doesn't necessarily believe in any particular diet, he looked at my test and he's like, and I told him like, hey, by the way, I'm eating pretty much exclusively meat. If my blood tests show results based on that, that's why. I don't know. And he's like, no, actually, everything looks good. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's working out. And I was like, all right, sweet. I expected something different. I don't know, but it worked out. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. And, especially that, he doesn't promote it or anything like that. So I think that's great that he told you to keep doing what you're doing. Because sometimes even when the blood work comes back good, the doctors will tell you, no, you need to stop that, so that's good that he's at least supportive of the way that you're eating, even though he doesn't really promote it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, yeah. Well, I love hearing your story, and thanks again for sharing.
No problem.